We love the Indians. We love the tribes.
Symbols of pride or images of racial prejudice.
Even if I wasn't Native, I would still be standing up against this.
For decades, Native Americans have tried to remove Indian mascots, chants, and tomahawk chops from sports, especially the R word.
Change the mascot, change the name.
Requests flatly refused by the Washington Redskins franchise.
I'm not going to respond to that.
And that's their prerogative as a business. After all, fans choose to support professional teams. But what about schools funded by taxpayers? Here in Ohio, a couple hundred have Native American mascots, and 12 high schools are Redskins.
If you live here, you're born a Redskin.
Cuyahoga Heights board member Reno Contepelli believes the logo honors Native Americans and their deep connection to the state. Land once inhabited by multiple tribes. Even the name Ohio means good river in Iroquois.
It's supposed to symbolize a very strong leadership, warrior type of person. The logo should not be offensive to anybody.
At least one graduate is highly offended.
I'm saddened to see that it's still around.
As a Native American, Marie sees the mascot as a painful reminder of past atrocities.
The mistreatment of my people and the genocide that this country is based on. These images are all part of that.
Marie says the word Redskin is a blatant racial epithet.
It is what it is.
But many fans disagree.
I think it's much ado about nothing.
I think if Redskin meant something negative, no one would have been using it. No one would have adopted it 50, 100, 150 years ago.
So what did people think back then when these schools were named? We went to the downtown Cleveland Public Library to find out, pulling multiple dictionaries. The oldest, from 1890, defines a Redskin as a red Indian. In 1933, it just says a North American Indian. And the definition doesn't change much until the 1960s, when the words often offensive were added.
It's really at the root of the problem of the Redskin mascot issue.
Baldwin Wallace professor Dr. Amy Story.
We culturally practically ignore Native peoples and Native history and the role that Euro-American settlers played in the destruction of Native civilizations.
Redskins may have started as a physical descriptor by Europeans, but Dr. Story says it also relates to scalping proclamations issued by British leaders offering a bounty for each Indian killed, including women and children.
And in fact, the payment was quite hefty.
And they were killing us and skinning us and bringing those hides in.
When Marie and her friend Cynthia hear Redskins, they see their ancestors soaked in blood.
98% of our population eradicated. Your structure, your tradition, and everything you've had around for thousands of years suddenly just gone.
Several psychological studies found that the mascots are harmful to Native youths, causing depression and damaging their self-esteem. They say statistically, Native youths have the highest suicide rate in the country.
And I don't think the fans are trying to be, racist, or I think they're just supporting their hometown team.
The National Congress of American Indians adamantly opposes the mascots, but polls suggest that not all Native Americans are bothered by them.
I feel that it's tradition and it's not meant in a bad way.
It represents pride, it represents courage, and it represents family and tradition for us.
Superintendent Pat Adkins says the Port Clinton Redskins are very protective of their logo, and years back even consulted with an elderly local chief.
In his words, Redskins were fighters, not only on the field, but in life.
What about those horrific scalping proclamations? Mr. Adkins says it's extremely troubling, but was never mentioned by the chief.
I've never heard anything like that. I certainly don't deny that was the case at that time, but it's an honorable term in this community.
The U.S. Commission on Civil Rights has condemned the use of Native American mascots. The NCAA banned those considered hostile and abusive. Oregon banned them as well, and several states have laws governing them. Here in Ohio, there have also been some changes. The Miami University Redskins became the Red Hawks, and the Akron East High Orientals are now the Dragons.
I'm optimistic that there will come a time soon when they will get rid of all of them.
That remains to be seen. For now, the only thing both sides agree on is that it's definitely much more than a mascot. In Cleveland, Suzanne Stratford, Fox 8 News.